Well, the presidential election, not the only race we're watching. There are some crucial House and Senate races happening across the country that could tip the balance of power in Congress.
Some of the most closely watched races are right in our backyard. The New Jersey Senate race headlined by Democrat Andy Kim and Republican Curtis Bashaw. New York's 4th District race on Long Island between Republican incumbent Anthony D'Esposito and Democrat Laura Gillen. And New York's 17th District race in the Hudson Valley between Republican incumbent Mike Lawler and Democrat Mondaire Jones.
All right, we have a team of reporters covering all of these races tonight. We kick things off with Fox 5's Linda Schmidt. She's in Basking Ridge watching the New Jersey Senate race there. Linda.
Yeah, well, as you guys were talking about there, first of all, this race here that I'm covering here tonight is the biggest race in New Jersey. That's because the Democrats have a razor-thin majority in the U.S. Senate, and they cannot afford to lose any Senate seats. Now, on the right, on the Republican side, which is the candidate that I'm covering here tonight, you have Curtis Bashaw. He is a hotel developer from Cape May. On the Democratic side, you have Congressman Andy Kim, who has been a part of the political scene for quite some time. He was first elected to Congress back in 2018. Now, go ahead and take a look at this video. This is obviously from earlier today. This is Kim voting. Now, he wound up being the Democratic candidate after former Senator Bob Menendez was convicted on federal bribery charges and then resigned. Kim has a background in security. He was a national security aide during the Obama administration. And he also gained some national attention when he was photographed helping to clean up the U.S. Capitol after the January 6th attack. Now, Bashaw, in the meantime, is a first-time candidate. He is a Trump supporter, and he calls himself a moderate. He is a married gay man who supports abortion rights. He is also pro-Israel and pro-Ukraine, and he has said several times during this campaign that, quote, when my party is right, I will support it, but when my party is not right, I will stand up against it. So how much of a threat really is Bashaw to Andy Kim here in New Jersey? Well, if you talk to pundits and you look at history, he is not much of a threat. That's because New Jersey has not sent a Republican to the U.S. Senate in more than 50 years. However, Bashaw, he is here at his headquarters. Normally, a candidate is not here this early in the evening. They don't arrive usually until about 9 or 9:30. He is here already. He came out, he was talking to us, and he said, look, the bottom line is this. I believe that New Jersey voters, they want to change. They want something new. They want something different, especially after what happened with former Senator Bob Menendez. Now, coming up at 6 o'clock, my colleague Teresa Priolo, she is going to have a live report for you from Congressman Andy Kim's headquarters, which is in Cherry Hill. But for now, that's the very latest from here. Back to you in the studio.
All right. Thanks, Linda.